So we'll talk about what is service discovery. So let's consider one scenario. You have built the microservices, and there is uh, a service A, which is microservice one, and service B, which is microservices two. And you want to call microservices B from service A. So what you will do? You will add the and suppose the service microservices B is deployed on other server, and so there will be other different IP addresses, and the port number will be also different. So you have to maintain all the port number and basic base URL of the service B microservices in properties file basically. So the diagram basically will look like this. You have service A and you want to call the service B. Then your URL will be stored in the property file will like this. So what happens in that case? There are some uh, flaws of using this approach. So first is what happens if there are increasing the number of services. This is the case of the two microservices only. Suppose there are 10 to 20 microservices and everyone communicates with other microservices. Then you have to maintain all the ports of the and all the network IP address of the other services in your properties file. And as you know, there may be a possibility that if instance is scalable, so there will be a dynamic IP address. So it is difficult in that case to maintain all the IP addresses and port number of a microservices in a properties file. So if you in this diagram, you can see if you are using the four microservices and they can communicate with like uh, with each other. So there may be we can achieve this using the same approach. But if there are 10 to 20 microservices and then they communicate with each other, so there will be a headache to maintain and update when there is a one change in microservices, or if you need to stop the server instance and then again start, then we need to update the IP addresses of all the microservices like uh, in the properties file. So this is one drawback, and the another one is like dynamically assigned network location. Basically, microservices are deployed on the cloud, and they may be on different locations and different regions as well. So and to maintain the IP addresses of the all, it will be a headache. So there is another disadvantage of maintaining the IP addresses, and there are some other also. It is difficult to manage in the configuration files, and if it lacks the flexibility to change the IP and port later at a time, and yeah, there are some disadvantages over using the older approach. So service discovery is the mechanism uh, uh, to maintain all the network locations of all the microservices. So basically, what it does, uh, every microservices will register with the service discovery. So service discovery will know every microservices IP address and port number. So with the help of service discovery, we can achieve many things like every microservices registered with the service discovery. So we known to the each of the IP address and port number. And suppose if you want to call service A, if you want call the service B from service A, then we know to the other services. We can maintain all the health checks of all microservices. Suppose there are 10, 20 microservices and we don't know like if it is down or like what is the health check of the microservices. Then we can by using the Eureka server, we can also check for the whether it is up or down. And when any one of the microservices goes down, we can also know like this microservices goes down. So basically, it helps to utilize the cloud dynamically scalable and shrink based on the requirements, and it makes the architecture loosely coupled. Okay, so basically, that is mean by the service discovery. So service discovery can be achievable through the Spring Cloud frameworks and Spring Netflix Eureka library. So Netflix Eureka is basically a Spring Cloud library, uh, which is used to build the robust application and to encounter the patterns to develop the distributed systems. So Spring Cloud Netflix is one of the most popular project of the Spring Cloud. So there are a number of components in Spring Netflix Cloud. So basically, when we want to use the service discovery server, then we can use the Netflix Eureka library. And suppose we want to use the Edge server or API gateway, then we can use the Netflix Joule. And there, for the dynamic routing and load balancing purpose, we can use the Netflix ribbon. And for the circuit breaker system, we can use the Netflix hash trick library. So these are the main Spring Cloud Netflix library.